hate when I do that.
It's okay.
And they probably can hear me too. That's sad. All right, so, and you could. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Unpopular Reviews. Welcome to another edition of Unpopular Reviews. I am one of your hosts, the exec consultant. We are here to talk to you about Twilight UPR Entertainment Edition. Let's bring aboard. Hey, I'm a lucky guy. I am here, and I'm joined by two lovely ladies because somebody on this episode needs to like Twilight. So let's bring them aboard. Let's talk about Katrina Storm. What's going on? 2 days in a row. Happy to see you.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
What's up? And let's bring on fellow Don't Rush Challenge participant, C the Superior. What's going on? Hey, there goes that wave I was talking about in pre-production. How are we doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to talk about the movie. I'm really excited. I've been rereading the book in anticipation for the movie review. So, yeah, we're here and I'm ready. Ready to talk about it.
Great. Hopefully this movie was better than the first thing that I saw because, Twilight,
It was my favorite one, actually.
Great. So this is the part where we start sucking blood, right? We start sucking blood. We start getting hairy with the werewolves and stuff like that. We start to get into it, right?
Spoiler alert. It's like, no.
Fair enough. All right, let's get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, since it looks like I am leading this.
It's always a good episode
with passion. Okay, so the movie starts off Bella's 18th birthday. She's having a dream that she's looking at what she thinks is her grandmother, and Edward is there, and she's like, Edward, don't come into the sunlight because my grandma will see that you're not normal. So she walks up to the grandmother anyway. Edward seems like he's okay with this. It seems like it's going to be okay. And then she talks to her grandmother, and it's like her reflection, implying that, her fear of she's going to get older while Edward will stay his age and she will get older. So she wakes up and she pretty much is like, I don't want to celebrate my birthday because now I'm officially older than Edward. He's 17. I'm now 18 years old. So her dad comes in with a camera. Her dad and her mom was like, let's coordinate. Let's get a scrapbook. Look at his camera. Your senior year. Let's have fun. Let's do this. And she was like kind of upset when he joked about that she had like gray hair or something. And she like had a whole meltdown about, oh my God, gray hair. And I understand that. It's
yeah, she's real sexy about her age.
so she pretty much, she gets to school. She takes pictures and then she sees Edward. We see them again in the classroom. I think they're reading Romeo and Juliet, which, just to reiterate that for people, that is not a romance. People seem to think Romeo and Juliet is romance. It is a tragedy. It is not a romance. People die.
Okay, yeah.
Hold on. Isn't in some cases, and I'm going to say this because of my last relationship, isn't in some cases romance is tragedies?
Oh, Lord.
Come on, Pam. Look at this comment. Look at this comment. Look at it. Look at this comment. I blame you for that one. I blame you for that one, Kat.
First of all, how do you blame this? How do you blame that on me? I didn't know he was going to pop up. I didn't know he was going to pop up.
Everybody's team Jacob. Everybody's team Jacob. You can't help but
Which one is Jacob?
First of all,
Jacob is the hot one.
You see this bae right here? Bae, right here. Jacob, right here.
This is Jacob when you first see him in the movie.
Before he had
I don't know who Jacob is. How am I supposed to know who Jacob is? Jacob is the werewolf?
Yes.
Jacob is, yeah.
Okay, boom. I knew that. Thank you. I just want everybody to know that I knew who Team Jacob was.
Sure. You only have two options. It's either
why we paying attention to shirts? You see, this is what I'm saying. I said this last night during our Monday Night Raw edition. Y'all shaming fat people. I don't want to do that.
First of all, I didn't shame anybody.
Because I can't take my shirt off for the ladies. Because if I would poke an eye out. But okay, all right. So what else? What else we got going on with Twilight? What do we got?
Just to answer the Romeo and Juliet question, Romeo and Juliet is not a romance. It is tragedy. Anybody who dies at the end of a romance, it's not a romance. It is a tragedy. That's what it is. Both of them died. Romance.
That's how all romances end.
Happy ever after. Happy for now. That's it. Okay. Anyway, so they're doing Romeo and Juliet.
Can I ask a question before we continue? I'm sorry. I have a question. What great romance where the person doesn't die at the end?
What?
What great romance do you know where the person doesn't die at the end?
Twilight.
Oh, because they can live forever and stalk your their grandchildren. I got you. No, I got you. It's cool.
Like, I love Titanic, and there's a romance in the story, but that is also not considered a romance. It's called
Titanic. You
yes,
talking about when she was being selfish? That wasn't love.
No. Listen, I hate Rose.
Oh yeah, she could have made room for him.
She could have made room.
Rose is ready. She was. She's ready.
I think she's personally. I think Rose is from New York, but that's just.
Which you're not going to do. Be disrespectful to New York. We're not going to do that. Okay, that's why.
I just think Rose is from New York. Because that sounds like something a New Yorker would do.
So, granted, there was romance in that movie. It's considered an epic romance. A very quick romance. Something very tragic happened. They used a historical event, but that is not an actual romance. There's an argument I have people because I write romance and I'm like, no. It has like romantic tendencies, but it's not romance. If somebody dies, it's not supposed to be. Okay. The end goal is supposed to be either we end it like wherever it ends at is happy for now, or we know it's going to be happy ever after. Which is Twilight. Happy ever after, because obviously they live forever. Yada yada. So they're watching Romeo and Juliet, and the teacher is like, oh, well, it doesn't seem like you pay attention. Edward, give me something that you heard from the movie. So Edward gave like this long passage proving he was paying attention. And then the teacher was like kind of embarrassed, like, okay, well, keep your eyes on the screen, because like he didn't know what he was talking about. So Alice pretty much says, she wants to have a birthday party for Bella, even though Bella does not want to celebrate her birthday. And this is the first time we kind of see Jasper, what his power is as a vampire. So why I didn't like in the movie, they don't really put too much emphasis on what his power is. He's able to manipulate people's emotions. That's not really said too much in New Moon. It's just kind of said like, oh, Jasper, you're doing the mood control thing.
Yeah, it was kind of hinted.
He has one of the coolest powers in the books, is because he can able to manipulate people's emotions and make people feel the way he wants them to feel to get his end goal, whatever the situation is. So this is the first time we see Jasper. Seem a little bit more normal than.
I didn't like his wig. I wish I got a shot of him with that stupid ass wig on, because it looked amazing.
He was wearing a wig?
That was the one thing I hated about the Twilight saga as a whole. They were just like with the wigs. I was like, so y'all didn't care. They're just like, let me go to the 99 store. Let me go to Amazon. Here you go. Y'all didn't even try to make them blend.
Yeah, it was horrible. His wig was worse than Jacob's wig in the first place.
It was. So, Rosalie gives a necklace. Emmett put something in her truck. He like installed a stereo system for her in the truck. And then Alice gave something from, oh my God, what is his name? Dr. Carlisle and Esme. He gives a present, and while Bella is trying to open the present, being the really weird, clumsy person that she is, she gets a paper cut that bleeds profusely for some reason. I didn't understand how a paper cut was bleeding to that extent. I've had plenty of paper cuts in life. No paper cut bleed that much. Something's wrong. I don't know, but she bled profusely. And Jasper, who has not been the vegan or vegetarian vampire like the rest of them, is about to attack her. And Edward sees it coming, so they slow motion it down. So Edward can pretty much, he like pushes Bella back, which makes the blood worse because she winds up falling into a glass table and her own arm get cut open. So now Jasper's really like trying to get her because he's not used to what the rest of them are used to. So they had to get Jasper out of there. Alice was like with the blood, and then that's when we kind of see Edward look a little differently at Bella, like, this is what I was worried about was going to happen. She's going to get hurt again. He wasn't his Edward that he was in the Twilight. He was being extra ridiculous because it's like, bro, a conversation could have solved this personally, but whatever. So Carlisle,
he comes and patches her up.
He stitched her up, take the glass out. And then, the next day they kind of showed to a scene where, Bella didn't really see Edward. And then he comes after school and he pretty much told her that it's
before
over.
That scene, they did have something about, they first mentioned the Volturi during that party. And
That's, you're right, you're correct. So the important scene is we get introduced to the Volturi. So the Volturi is like the head guys in charge of the Twilight world. They're like the ones who's like one of the oldest vampires, some of the most powerful vampires, and Carlisle used to work with them, and he escaped. They are the ones who eat humans. They're the ones who don't, eat animals. Like, you complain about eating humans. They suck on humans. Chris, that's for you. That's for you. They're those vampires who don't go to the sun. Then, because you were complaining before, like, oh my God, who kind of vampires? So these vampires, the Volturi, they do kill humans. They do.
They kill humans, but look at them. If you could put the picture back up real quick.
They are kick ass.
They are.
You know what's scary about the fact that they're able to kill humans? But because if you so look, I know you can't tell, and I understand why you can't tell because I don't claim it, I don't brag about it or nothing like that. I'm not like that.
Mm-hmm.
Put a picture back up, Chrissy. Put it back up. If you from the hood, all right, real talk. Let's just be real. Real talk. If you from the hood and these mofos come to you, you ain't worried about these bloodsuckers. You know what I'm saying? Look at them. Look at them.
Then you'll be highly mistaken because they are lethal. Lethal vampires.
So you're telling me any vampire who's normally not dressed normal, you would be scared of them?
I need them mofos from Blade. That's who I need. I need them.
The only vampire that was somewhat scary looking in Blade was Blade himself.
Exactly, but they weren't dressed like some aristocrats. No. Put that picture back up.
Blade with the hot top fade. You think he's more scary than these joints over here?
Christy.
Actually,
you know what? I'm so upset. I'm so upset you put that picture up and you said what you just said, and people couldn't see. You couldn't even keep a straight face when you said that shit. Nobody believes that crap.
Like, if you want to chill with the homie on the stoop, you talk to Blade.
Right.
Blade doesn't you scare you. He's the homie. Blade's the homie. You don't get scared of Blade. He's the homie.
I'm over here talking like stuff from Southeast DC. I need to be talking stuff from Queens, New York, because it's like you chill on the homie. You chill on the homie.
What you're not gonna do is be disrespectful. We're not gonna do that.
Christy, okay? tell them how we do in Hyattsville.
How we do in Hyattsville? But no, these giants, they would have got talked about. They would have got Joan on. But after that, we would have been dead.
Exactly, y'all would have been dead. So
that guy,
that would have been the typical bully scenario. You would have bullied these guys like, oh, they're punks, and then you would have died. It's cool. It's cool.
But the main guy, I forget his name, the actor's name, but he was in some of the Underworld movies. And he played a werewolf in those movies. It's interesting that he was playing a vampire in this movie. And the other guy, the blonde one on the far left, he plays Jace Wayland in the Mortal Instruments.
He is also in Sweeney Todd. Johnny Depp. He's the young boy who sings. His voice is actually pretty decent.
Yeah. Is that the Johnny Depp
one of my favorite songs from that movie, and he was singing it. So he's actually the guy from Sweeney Todd, the young kid, the blonde guy.
Why wasn't Johnny Depp in Twilight? This seems like right up his alley.
Johnny Depp is
Johnny Depp. He aged out,
and it's fine. Johnny Depp is Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp plays a lot of questionable characters.
He might have been doing somebody who doesn't have a box. I appreciate that. Johnny Depp is not in a box. He plays whatever, and I respect that. That he's not like, oh, I can't play that. It's weird. Appreciate it. But appreciate it.
After the party, though, that's when we get to this scene where they made him look really vampire-y more in this movie too.
They definitely did. He was overly pale. I was like, all right, we know he's pale. We get it. Like, okay, but he was like I feel like they put like mad powder, and they was like, let's just put all because he was extra pale. I was like, he wasn't just pale the first one. Like
he really looked like a vampire.
He was overly pale for no reason. The only problem is, he pretty much breaks up with Bella. He tells her this lie, because it's a lie, that him and Carlisle and his family need to dip because they've been there for 10 years, supposedly, and now it's looking suspicious. My whole issue with this scene is, like, if you're supposed to be so madly in love with the guy, when she was like, well, please stop, I didn't feel convinced that she didn't want him to go. Like, her please stop was so regular, like, if I'm gonna yell at my kids before they get on my nerves, and I yelled that first time, and it's like, you guys, really calm, no type of emotion, before it gets to time number 3, when now I'm yelling, time number 1 is always really calm. So that's what I got from her. I was just like, you don't want him to stay, sis. You're not even asking, like, I think you like, I will call Alice right now. Give me a phone, call Alice. You leaving?
That's because Kirsten Stewart messed it up. Kirsten Stewart.
Not to sound like a crazy person or anything, but I felt like she, like, if you really was like, I can't be without you, like, she was dead ready, willing to leave Charlie, her dad. Like, I'll go with you. I'll make up some excuse. You were so ready to leave. But then he tells you that crap. And you don't even ask any questions like, oh, let me go ask Alice. Alice will tell me the truth. Or let me beg a little more. She just took it like, which he mentions later on that she believed it so easily. I'm just like, sis, so you didn't care that he left?
Yeah.
And then, she like cries and tries to find him when he dips. And obviously he's not going to chase him because he's Edward. He's quick. And then she falls asleep in the woods, which I didn't understand either because I'm like, I get you're heartbroken, but the woods is nasty.
No, it's Tuesdays and Saturdays. Right now, for the next 4 more weeks, we're doing Twilight. On Saturdays, we're doing Marvel until we're done with that. And then after, we'll do something else besides Twilight. Right now, we're talking about Married with Children, but I just got upset because a young one has never heard of Married with Children. I just don't see how anybody with blood in their veins has never heard of Married with Children, arguably the greatest comedy of all time.
He was born in 2019.
We'll go that far.
I don't care if
It's
he was
arguably.
born in
You're right about the arguably part. It's a good show though. But how?
Yeah, it's a good show.
It's the greatest comedy of all time.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway.
Okay. Well, we're not going to do Queens. All right. What we're not going to do is disrespect Al Bundy and No Ma'am.
Family Matters.
Not when there's
Family
Martin
Matters
out
is
there
not.
in the streets.
Family Matters is funnier than Married with
Period,
Children.
what period I period said.
Did I do that?
Exclamation points. I said what I said. Anyway. So
Martin.
Bella's
That was even funnier.
Bella's
then we
got a
get-
cell phone sleep in the woods.
Oh,
And she's gone for hours to the point where Charlie had a search team for her, and it's Jacob's people in the Quinlets. And I'm not really sure what kind of town this is that there's no other police officers, just like Charlie, and then it's like the reservation, the natives in the reservation. And I'm like, so you're telling me there's no other cops here? Like, how are these people you call to help look for your daughter? It was very strange to me. I didn't understand.
Town.
I was like, so you just have the natives doing the work. Okay, cool. Like, let them do. Like, they don't got enough that they got to be in the reservation. Let them do
Right.
the work too.
They don't got their own issues.
Okay,
But
I'm
there's
not
only
gonna talk about
3,000
friends.
people
That's
in the
gonna be
town.
another about friends. We're not gonna talk about friends. We're not gonna do that.
We're not going to talk about Friends because I will tear Friends up just like I tear Twilight up. You're never going to say Friends is the greatest comedy of all time. Doesn't even make sense. Doesn't compete. Wow, young one.
Seinfeld is way funnier.
It definitely.
Friends?
I felt that no, hell no. But friends.
Seinfeld is way funnier than Friends. Friends is not that funny.
Too many questionable things.
The Office. The Office might be the best comedy.
The Office is funnier, but nothing is compared to Married with Children.
The Office is funnier than Married with Children.
You said Family Matters.
It's like perfect timing and dry humor. It's perfect.
21st
The Office is
century
the
is
funniest
only the Big
comedy.
Bang Theory. 21st century is
The
only the Big Bang
The
Theory.
best comedy
funniest
show.
from the 90s.
American Dad.
No, it's definitely with Will what the fuck's his name?
Will Ferrell?
No.
Will Smith?
Will Smith. What was the show?
Who's
Fresh
that?
Prince of Bel-Air?
Prince of Bel-Air.
No.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
No. You know what's funny? You know what's funny?
That was
Twilight's
funny
funny when
as
they're
hell.
glittering in the sun. That's what's funny.
So
Go ahead and finish
that's
up.
when, after he broke up with her, they put out the rescue team. Sam really brings her back, and she falls into the depression.
Wayans brothers.
So yeah. So before the depression, this is kind of when we look at the werewolves are coming. When Bella is getting brought back from the woods after she fell asleep like a weirdo in the woods, we see the other werewolves from the pack before Jacob turned. This is before Jacob is still himself. He doesn't know what's happening. He thinks that these guys with the short haircuts, no shirts, and tattoos are like some kind of cult. We call them like, oh, they're just like his followers. He don't understand what's happening. He don't really deal with them. This is before Jacob turns. So what I did like that the movie did was when she went through depression, it was like 3 or 4 months of nothing. The book did the same thing where it was like November, December, and it was just a blank page.
Yeah, that was a good thing.
So I thought it was nice that it was able to pull that off. There was like nothing on the book page. It was like she was so depressed, she did nothing. Like, she wasn't sleeping, she wasn't eating, she wasn't. I don't know if she was going to school. They didn't really admit if she was going to school or not. But they showed the seasons change for her while she sat at the window, depressed that Edward left her. And the only other scene outside of her sitting in the window, is her having bad nightmares that Edward was gone. So she was like screaming to the point where Charlie was like always checking on her dad. So now we get to Bella deciding when she wants to hang out with her friend Jessica. Oh, let's go hang out. Let's go to a movie. We're gonna go see a movie. And she sees some random guys on motorcycles. And she goes, oh, I think I know these guys. Let me go over there. So she sees Edward. So Edward's like, turn around. And she's like, maybe I'll turn around. But then he disappears. So she goes to the bike and get on the bike anyway. The crazy person. Personally, as a New Yorker, you never get on some strange guy's bike. That's weird. That's how you end up in a ditch. Just saying, you don't do that. But she did that, went around for a little bit, and then got off when Edward was like, chill.
And speaking of pedophiles, these guys are like old, like well into their 30s.
So we're establishing the fact they're pedophiles.
No, the guys in the city, the one that she rode the bike.
Does it matter if they're guys or girls? Come on, Chrissy.
No. I'm talking about these are
A pedophile's a pedophile.
These are human men who she approached and got on the back of his bike.
You had to classify they were men. Okay.
And well, technically she is 18 at this point, but she's still a teenager and not old enough to do anything besides say she's 18. And they were.
You have to understand that in the 21st century, age gap is different. People all are having sex with people, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years younger or older than them. It's a sad thing.
I don't know if that's recent.
You should never have sex with somebody more than 5 years older or younger than you. If it's anything more than that, you're disgusted. You got some issues. You know what I'm saying?
Well, she's been, she's with a vampire. So at this point she's not, but Bella will argue differently. But after she goes to these guys just to get this hallucination. Oh, okay. She goes to this guy just to get this hallucination of Edward. So she's starting to piece together that when she has like these dangerous moments, she starts to see Edward in her mind. So it was after that point that she was in town and she decided to go drive around, and she came across these motorcycles, and she was thinking, okay, if I start riding these motorcycles around town, then I'll get that same high, like adrenaline rush, and I could possibly see Edward again. That's her whole motive, is to see Edward, find Edward. So she comes across these like dilapidated motorcycles, and she got them for free, but they were like in disrepair. So she thought that she could take them to her good friend Jacob, who is like this great mechanic, and fix up her.
I agree with you, Dylan. Dylan, what? I'm sorry. I agree with you, Dylan. Twilight does suck. I agree with you.
And that's when she brings the motorcycles over to her good friend Jacob for him to fix. And this is when he started looking extra delicious.
That's right. That's right. I was waiting. I was like, you know what, Jake? Jake, that teach you something. But teach you something.
Right.
Just saying.
So yeah, it was like actually delicious. So he was able to help her fix. Their friendship begins to grow over the time period of him trying to help fix her bike.
5 year difference. 5 year difference. No, I was answering Joseph because I said that you should not have sex with anybody more than 5 years older or younger than you, and he's letting me know that there's almost a 10-year difference, and it should not be more than 5 years. If you have sex with somebody over or under 5 years, you have issues.
Wow. Okay.
Well, yeah, me and Vivi, I think, is the same age.
Who?
They mentioned Matt and Reby, and I think me and Reby are about the same age. I think either she's 87 or 88, and Matt Hardy was born in 1974. So.
Yeah, they have issues, and they always have issues. Look at their Twitter.
Oh God.
You shouldn't. No. If you were born more than 5 years before or after your significant other or person you're sleeping with, you have issues and you're wrong, and you need to stop immediately.
Even if they were both adults when they met.
5 years. That should be your limit.
Wow. Okay.
Tell that to the Undertaker. I will tell that to the Undertaker. Michelle
yeah, she's McCool. Also from New York City. So yeah.
Who? Michelle McCool?
No.
Who?
Said Reby Hardy.
Oh, I always try to forget her because yeah.
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, I know, because you don't watch wrestling, Chrissy. And this is why when we're going to do another ladies edition, I was trying to figure that out earlier, like how to bring her on the show. Well, she doesn't watch wrestling.
I don't watch wrestling. Movies only.
How do you put your links like that on the stream? What links you talking about? Do you want to talk about the ones over here? That is something that as he said earlier, a very handsome gentleman put on this. Big Daddy Cool Steven Pino, if you watch our Don't Rush Challenge, they had the Venom mask on. He actually did this, so send him a message and he'll tell you, which I think this is a good look. He did a very good job. And I'm only saying that because I'm a nice guy. I'm the nicest asshole you can meet.
So once Jake and her are like working on this bike in the garage and doing all this thing, their friendship starts to really develop over time, and you can see that they're having like this strong bond. And so Jake, Bella, who is currently in this depression over Edward, she only feels like slightly better when she's with Jacob. Like everywhere else, she's like broken and everything, but Jacob seems to put a smile on her face. She described him in the book like her son, her own personal son, who like, you know, beams light into her life and stuff like that. So they were able to, Jacob in all his glory was able to fix the bikes. And of course, Bella's after the high of Edward. So they take the bikes out for a run. And go ahead, Kat, take it away.
So she like starts the bike and
warm handoff.
she starts the bike and kind of like messes up, and then she sees Edward, so she's like, okay, I'm gonna like go again. So she goes, like not really knowing how to ride a motorcycle at all. She's just going, and while she's going, they're showing Edward like his reflection, pretty much showing, because she's doing adrenaline rush type of things. So Edward, she can see Edward because Edward wants her to be safe. Mm-hmm. So she pretty much crashes and like gets injured and like bleeds, because Bella seems to like to bleed. Apparently she's just a bleeder. I don't know, she just bleeds all the time. And she looks at Jacob and she goes, well, you know, you're some kind of beautiful. And I think that was
save the day. Boom.
Yes, we did.
Put that comment down so we can see all this glory.
I'm glad you posted this picture. I'm tell you why, because you can see when he's taking his shirt off. The
one
front
person
line
is
that's not
happy
bleeding well.
He posted this picture.
And his wig is just so bad that you see.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I was scared that if he would have took it off the shirt any differently, the wig would have came right off. Like, we did him dirty. They just did him dirty with that wig. I was like, I didn't even try. Y'all didn't try. Y'all didn't try to get him good wig. Y'all could have tried better. I'm just.
I feel like it was better than Twilight's wig. I feel like he got a little bit of an upgrade.
Steven, real quick. Steven, Dustin Kelly was asking about the background. He's probably doing his own show, so if you could hit him up just to give him tips, I would appreciate that. Anything to distract from the fact that I just saw this man with the shirtless picture. All right, yeah. And she posted it again.
All right, guys. You know what? I hope there's other ones when he looks extra buff.
Oh no, we got plenty of Jacob. I was like, dang, right. I forgot other people was in the movie.
Jacob's time. It's Jacob's time. It's Jacob's time. You know, it's his time. So
this is very heavily Jacob in these screen.
She gets
no
hurt.
Plot, just Jacob.
She gets hurt, and she says that, and then I guess she's kind of back to somewhat being herself again, because now she's talking to her friends at school finally, and the guy Mike from the first movie, who kind of had a thing for her, was like, let's go watch a movie. And he was like, let's go see some romantic comedy. And she's not really with the love thing right now. She's like, no. Can we watch something like action, like, you know, adrenaline? That's my thing. So she put him, I don't really like the term friend zone personally, because there's no such thing as friend zone. It's just like, everybody's not going to be the person you date. Let it go. There's no such thing as friend zone. I don't believe in friend zones. However, for sake of, you know, she put him in the friend zone. She was like, you know what, everybody, let's go watch this movie. So she took them to a group. We'll go together and watch this movie. And you could tell he looked a little annoyed because, you know, he's going to upset. So they get to the movie theater, and you see Jacob talking to Mike because Bella's buying Jake's ticket. He's too young to buy a ticket for this rated R action movie. And you see right now, because I think Jessica got sick, Justin went to go take care of her, and Jessica was just like, I ain't going, you know, she bailed. So you kind of see this tension because Mike likes Bella, and he liked her from the first one, and now Jacob's starting to like Bella. And there's like a little back and forth, like little comments about like age and like, oh, you like a little bit of a wimp type of thing. So they showed them watching the movie, and both of them was kind of had their hands, like I guess they wanted her to put her hand in their hand, and you could tell she knew, and she was like, yeah, this is not happening, you know, we're just here to watch the movie. And then Mike gets sick. It seems Mike has a stomach flu that's going around. That's why the friends didn't show up. And Jacob is thinking, like, you know, he's just a punk. He can't handle action and gore and blood and everything. He can handle it, but he was sick. This is when we finally see that Jacob is about to become a werewolf. He's getting very angry for no reason. There's no need to get as angry. He got very angry. He's starting to have a fever. And she's like, well, you're burning up. He's like, okay, I'm going to go home. So now it seems that Bella is now once again in her little depression because now she hasn't heard from Jacob in quite a few days. And she's been using Jacob to fill the void. Actually, I thought before I get to that part, in the movie theater, when he was trying to like, why can't we be a thing? And she was pretty much saying, well, I don't want you, but you're kind of here, and I'm being selfish. Like I don't want that, but you're filling whatever void I need filled right now. So I don't want you to go. So if you keep trying to get me, even though you have no chance, I'm gonna let you because you know I have this void I'm trying to fill. So I thought it was a little. I mean, this is when people said the whole friend zone thing. She dead told him it wasn't happening. She definitely said like.
But no, she was sending him all kinds of mixed signals.
No, granted, yes, I did think it was stupid. Like she was like, "Oh, you're beautiful," and then she was definitely calling. Those are those things that I'm like, sis.
Not only that, she would be like right up in his face like this. It'd be like, "Oh, where's your friend?"
What's like, I'm being selfish. You're just here because I need a word filled. Like you ain't Edward. That should have been cool right there, bro. You better find some other nigga.
Nah. I'm on his side because she was definitely
Bella Swan.
She was dangling the coup. She was dangling the coup in his face. Was snatching it back.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
So it's not his fault. And keep in mind, Jacob is only like 16, so he's like extra in love with her because he's like, hormones raging or whatever.
And he's like extra buff now. He got the muscles. He's extra strong now. See, this is why I said I was Team Jacob. Because any day, bro, you didn't need to ask me any questions. You would hold my hand, take it. Okay. Take my hand.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Hug me.
All right. I'm so glad y'all had that whatever that was. But considering the fact that I saw this comment right here,
what?
I think it's a perfect time to play a commercial. So we are going to be right back after these quick messages.
Do you want to show your love for the UPR universe? Or do you just want to show your love for Yep, I Like Wrestling? If you want to support these guys, go to ProWrestlingTees.com where you can get shirt and a lot of other merch.
It didn't need to happen.
If someone doesn't just fall from the top of an arena, something went wrong.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The executive consultant, C the Superior, Katrina Storm, bringing you Twilight episode. And we are wearing shirts, but apparently this episode, this movie seemed to have a lot of shirtless moments. But I'm fat, so I won't do that for you all today. Not for you.
Hallelujah.
Not doing it for you. Free UPR shirt for anybody who can guess where that reference is from. Show your love for Twilight like Ron shows his love for UPR. And Steve and Pena, I know I keep myself safe. What's going on with Twilight? Hey, I have to tell you, this is the best episode of Twilight I've ever seen.
Hey.
It's just because I'm watching the two of you. That is it.
So, days go by. Bella's getting depressed again because she can't reach Jacob. And she decides, I'm just going to show up to his house. So she does. And this is when we see for the first time the gloriousness. Let me just bring him here. Bring him here. So we get to see the gloriousness of Jacob all wet in the rain, just wet. No shirt. The world, like, I just need you to understand, like, how important that is, because this was the greatness of Jake taking his shirt off. His shirt was off. He just. Why when Laura was like, what, girls, here we go. This perfection.
How can you be Team Edward when there's Team Jacob?
Thank you. Look at those abs. Look at those abs. Okay, anyway, so he's all wet and stuff. He's all running with no shirt on in the rain, because I guess that's what they do. And she's like, well, I thought you was too sick. He said, suppose he had mono. Dad lied to him, he had mono. But the whole point is he pretty much was turning into a werewolf, but he couldn't tell her yet that he was a werewolf. So he was like, Bella, we can't be friends anymore. Stay away from me. We'll come back here. So she's like, well, don't break up with me. And that was a really weird thing to say. Yeah, just friends. Like, it could be a friend break. It could be a break.
You can tell, right?
He pretty much did the same thing that Edward did to her.
Yeah, so she's actually really upset because it's like, oh, you leaving me too after Edward left me and you told me you wouldn't hurt me. And he was like, well, this is me protecting you. So he runs off in the rain with his buddies, with all of them with no shirts on. And you see Bella, upset, and then he comes back to our house. He throws rocks at her window to get her attention. He does the awesome climbing scene from the.
I tell you, this is heavily Jacob.
He does the sexiness of climbing up that tree to get to her window. I just need you to understand. Somebody can do that. That's the one time it's okay for somebody to come in my window. That's the one time. Like, you know what? It's okay, Jacob. It's all right. Normally, it's creepy.
When Edward did it. You said it was
No,
creepy.
it was really creepy. He's
Twilight.
watching people in the window. But if Jacob would have came with no shirt on, just climb the tree. Oh, you climbing trees? Climb me, bro. Climb me. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. So,
Yes.
yeah, he comes in and he pretty much was like, talking to her, how he felt bad that, he made her sad and stuff. And he sees that she got bit from the first movie. And he's like, what kills me is you already know what's wrong with me right now. But the only part she remembered from the story in the first one about the Twilight tribe was the fact that Edward was a vampire. It's the only part she remembered about the Cullens. She didn't realize that the story also told that the Quinlets had the werewolves. They were supposed to protect people from vampires. So she dreams later on that night, when it finally clicks to her.
Can we put that back up?
Just let Chris look at the screen. He needs to look at that picture when he gets back to the screen.
I
need him to actually.
Oh, she hit a me move. She hit a.
Leave that up there for you.
Oh, respect. Okay.
So, she dreams and finally realizes that Jacob is a werewolf.
That's the best part of this episode, Steven. I swear.
So the next day she goes back to Jacob's house because now she's like, oh, this what you are this whole time. So she goes and Jacob's dad, Mr. Black, lies and says, oh, he ain't there, but Jacob's sleeping. So while she's looking out Jacob's bedroom window, she sees the rest of the werewolf people. They come. And she's now tight. She's like, what did you guys do to Jacob? So they was like, well, what did he tell you? And she's like, she didn't tell me. He didn't tell me anything. Like, you guys got him acting like this. And so she slaps. Is it P? Paul. Yeah, okay. She slaps Paul. And then he gets angry.
He's the wild one, too. He's the one ready for it.
So this is when we get the iconic scene. And you see Jacob run out of his window. And the shirt just rip open the shreds like it should. As it should. And you see him for the first time, full werewolf. Okay, actually, before. No, did we get to that part yet? I don't know if it's before or after. No, we didn't get there yet. Okay, cool. So she pretty was the thing with the werewolves when she saw them in the forest before she knew Jacob was one, right?
Yeah, that happened before with Laurent and stuff.
Okay, so I don't know if I got to there. I don't know if we got there. We didn't, right?
We passed it.
Okay, cool. So this is the first time she sees Jacob turns to a werewolf, and him and Paul starts like doing the werewolf wrestling thing. And the other two pretty much take Bella to Sam's woman. What is her name?
Emily.
There you go, Emily, who he imprinted on. And he was like, well, don't stare at Emily's face because apparently when he got mad, he slashed her face. So her whole side of her face is completely disfigured because when he turned near her and they're like big werewolves, her face, he scratched her face. So.
Oh yeah.
All I know is sports does exist, and I was trying to go to ports so I can actually go to La Push Beach because it does exist.
Did it rain?
I didn't get there because the person I was playing who went there, she went MIA. So I was like, she was the one who knew how to get there. She was the one we were supposed to be going with because that's how we became friends.
No.
Twilight. Literally, we became friends off Twilight. So she was like, there's La Push, and I've been there. I was like, oh, we go together, see some sexy natives? Sure, why not? Sure, why not? But it never happened. So anyway.
Such good shit.
Yes, it was because you get to see Jacob in the shirt on. So she goes talk to Emily and she was like, you're the vampire girl. She's like, well, you're the wolf girl, and it's like it's cool. It was like she's good with weird, she already knows about vampires, now she knows about the werewolf. So her and Jacob go and have a conversation, and she was like, well, you guys are like, you're bad, you're killing people. And he was like, but we're not killing people, we only kill vampires, except for the Cullens, because Cullens don't hurt anybody. They just live their lives, they eat the animals, they don't bother anybody. And that's when he explains that they killed Laurent, which was from the first one, who he was trying to kill Bella by himself, and that they were looking for Victoria from the first one as well. They did show the scene of him like ripping him apart. It was pretty like, that's what you get for trying to get Bella in the woods, because that person. And that's when I guess after that, he
Like
drives her
Pocahontas?
back home.
Avatar.
Oh my god. So Pocahontas actually was 12 years old when she met John Smith in real life. She was not that old. Just throwing it out there.
Avatar.
So Disney got that completely wrong with Pocahontas. Pocahontas was 12, about 12, 13
They
years
didn't
old.
get it completely wrong. Disney knew what they were doing. They're sick.
The second Pocahontas was correct because she did marry John Rolfe in England. She did go to England at like 18. She did marry him. They had 2 kids. She died there from all their diseases. White people diseases in England killed poor Pocahontas and her children. But when she met John Smith, there was no romantic interest. She was literally 12 years old.
Nothing. We apologize about that comment. That's all I have to say. No, we apologize about Katrina's comment, David. No, we apologize.
What comment? This is
No, she said what she said.
Historical facts suggest that a lot of STDs and diseases, unfortunately, came from Europe. That's what it is. It's not me saying it to say it. It's history. It's there, like Europe.
She's saying that y'all bring a lot of diseases, white people. Except for the coronavirus that came from China. All right, go ahead. Was Pocahontas real?
No, yes, she was real.
Pocahontas was a blue person on a different planet. And then John Smith came after he played Terminator. And it was a terrible movie. I hate Avatar. Okay, thanks, Kat. Make me look like Marty Jannetty. How did she make you look like Marty Jannetty?
No, I'm just saying that, she was definitely not a grown woman. She was a child when she met John Smith. So that's weird. Disney was really weird about that. So they're driving back.
Who killed LeBron James? LeBron James died?
What?
They killed LeBron. Who killed LeBron?
Wait, what?
I know. You see how everything went silent?
Right.
Is this breaking news?
Steven, this is why you can't be on the Dark Side of the Ring episodes. Because it's right there. That explains it. Rather than your friendship with The Rock. Oh, you must be talking to Ricky. Only Ricky knows Rock. Rocky J. Payton.
So
Ricky has a crush on Chrissy.
Home.
Where's Jay? So we can have a crush on Kat too.
Yeah, where's
She's seeing she wants to cliff dive because they were doing cliff diving before. So she decides to dump behind to let me go cliff dive too. And of course, she dives into the cliff. She dives to the water, and then she sees Victoria because they were at the same time. The wolves were chasing Victoria, and they just happened to meet at that water area. And she sees Victoria underwater, and she hits her head because typical Bella, clumsy.
Oh.
She hits her head underneath, so it seems like she might be dying. You see her floating there under the water. You see her imaginary
I really
Edward.
like that scene too.
Like the Edward. She's seeing Edward. She's like, "Oh, I'm about to be with you. I'm happy about to be with you. You about to take me in the afterlife. Me and you, Edward." And then Jacob pulls her out the water and he saves her.
Because he's a gentleman.
So he's like, "Well, what are you doing?" And she was like, she's just trying to get adrenaline rush. He doesn't realize she's doing all this dumb stuff because she wants to see Edward. So he gets her home finally. She's warming up. She's hugging him up, doing what I would like to do, to hug up his warmness and his heat. She's hugging him on the way home because she's wet. And he gets there and she realizes that, he's like, a vampire's here. So he's about to go protection mode, about to ready to help Bella, and finds out it is Alice, who came back thinking that Bella died when she jumped off the cliff. She thought she died because she sees the future, and then her future kind of disappeared from Alice's visions. She was like, I thought you died. So she's talking
so mad when Alice showed up.
They have a wait, what?
No, I was saying I was so mad when Alice showed up. They was in the trunk. They was having a moment, and next thing you know, Jacob, he smells a vampire, and she runs in, and he said something about, you can't go in there because I can't protect you in there, but she goes anyway, and she just pisses me off. I can't stand her. But
yeah, she definitely did make me mad because he ignored what the wolves said about keeping her away. He was like, I'm gonna still have my friend anyway. And then he's still trying to protect her, and she was just like, "Oh, well, I'm fine." I'm like, "Sis, he just told you about the water. You could be dead right now." But I guess it's okay, Jake. That's why we were here, because you didn't need Bella. You didn't need her. She was disrespectful, So she's talking to Alice, and then Jacob happens to still be there because he was like he couldn't leave Bella and make sure she was okay, even though he was supposed to do it. He was against the rules. He did it anyway, and he gets a phone call. So he goes, well, Charlie's not here.
Well, before the phone call, we had this moment where they was just about to kiss, and he said something really cute to her, like in whatever language he speak over there. I don't know what it is, but I was like, this is so adorable.
Yes,
and
it was a moment.
It
was definitely a moment that we thought a kiss was about to happen.
Dangling the
And
coup
then the phone
again.
rings.
Dangling the coup. What?
As I told my kids, who disappeared one day. I just opened my door one day and was like, "Oh, surprise, children!" That's how it happened. That's all.
That's not how it works.
That's how it works. That's how it works. That's what I said. Just like, one day, ooh, I'm gonna take care of this child. That's happened. So,
That's not how it works.
that's what I told them. They'll be okay.
Chrissy, what's that in your background?
That's my books that fell that I'm not worried about right now.
As long as we understand it fell. That's what I was. That's what I was.
The book was upset.
Yeah, books are
Jake
fell.
was about to get
Yeah,
his
they was
moment
mad.
ruined for his moment. The books are upset too. They understand. So the moment is moment, the phone rings. Jacob answers the call, and he says, "Well, Charlie's not here. He's preparing for a funeral." The person on the call apparently is Edward, and he's thinking, "Oh, Charles prepared for Bella's funeral because Alice thought that she died." So Alice come back and go, "Oh, Edward's about to go to the Rotary and die because he thinks you died too. He wants to do it. He's about to do something crazy to see if the Rotary can kill him because he thinks you died." So now this is what Bella decides. You know what? F Dad, F Jacob. I'm gonna get in this car and go to Italy.
And then he literally begged her to stay. He was like, "Look, he didn't want you. I want you. Stay here with me." He was like at the car window like that. I was like, "This is so effing sad. This is stupid."
So yeah, he was begging for her to
Bella.
stay with him, and she was just like, "Nah, he can't die because of me. Because instead of Edward, just let me call Alice to confirm, like a regular person. Let me just call Alice to confirm if she dead. Because Alice went there. No, I'm just like, she's dead. I'm just gonna go to Italy and kill myself." So Bella decides to not tell her dad anything. You know why? Because
exactly.
let me remind you guys, just the action right there. The action. Okay? This is all about Jacob in this movie. It's all about Jacob. So she go and runs to Italy. Well, not run. Obviously, there's a plane ride. She goes to Italy. She didn't tell Charlie where she went. She just dipped. No notes. No like, "Oh, I'll be back. I'm going to handle something." No, she's just like, "I'm 18. I can kind of do what I want to do. I'm going to Italy." So she goes to Italy during this festival, apparently. I don't know what festival this is that Italy has.
Yeah, I forget.
But it's some festival where people wear red hoods and stuff. And he was like, he gonna wait to noon when the sun is at its highest point to take his shirt off and let everybody know he's a vampire because his skin, it glitters.
And then to see his despicable, measly, little, nasty, shirtless self.
Look
I've been blessed.
look at that. What is this? I just need y'all to understand. What is this? Like, look at his puny chest.
Look, after we've been blessed the whole movie
A long
with
time.
this, after we've been blessed with this, then we gotta go at the end of the movie to see this. No.
It's just disrespectful. It's like disrespectful because how dare you guys go from greatness to that's what that was. I'm just like, no muscles, like he needed a couple of meals.
You're right.
It
was a mess.
Yeah.
But
that is Jake, okay? It's Jake. It's Jacob Funko. I collect a lot of Funkos, okay? My whole desk, actually, you guys cannot see my desk right now, but I have all the Funkos of women people that's super dope on my desk, if you guys can see it, because I'm not sure. But those are the women ones. So I got like Chun-Li, Katana, Catwoman, Hermione, Belle, Mulan, Tiana, Wonder Woman.
Chun-Li and Mulan.
On my bookcase. It's fine. And my Backstreet Boys, because I had to have my boys, my guys, Backstreet Boys, they are on my TV stand where they belong. Greatness. Anyway.
Pale shaming, it's not pale shaming.
Because they put his raggedy, nasty chest after we got to see all the fineness. Fineness. Just raggedy chest. Just raggedy. Like, we didn't deserve that. I didn't deserve that. I was a happy fan.
You know what? Speaking of, maybe he didn't exercise for this movie either, like he was not doing for the Batman movie.
No, what? Maybe he was like, what? I don't need to exercise. It's fine. It's cool.
Quarantine. Quarantine in 2009.
2010, when the movie came out, 2010? So, like, he's preparing, like, good 10 years in advance. No exercise. No exercise, quarantine. Yeah, we got to go from nice, sexy chest. Like, all the people, the werewolf's chest was decent. All the werewolves.
Yes.
And then you get...
Catch it, because you were in the back.
Like, yeah, my Funko obsession is really, I don't like Captain Marvel. It'll never be on my, no, we don't do that.
Notice she deaded that immediately. She was about to tell you something, and she stopped mid-sentence to tell you, I don't like Captain Marvel.
I don't. That's like to put her on my women of greatness. No. So yeah, we get to see greatness with all the wolves with their sexy shirts off and their shorts and the wetness and the sweat. And then we go to Edward and we're like, what is this, Edward? This is what y'all give us? This is what with this?
So why does it have to be David?
What?
Steven says, good guy, we're going to need David to come in here with a mop after this party. Hashtag slide party.
Bro, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What?
So this guy behind is about to go into the middle of this festival, taking his shirt off so he can show everybody that he's a vampire. And Bella,
That's why he took his shirt off?
Slow motion run. All of a sudden, she wasn't clumsy. All of a sudden, she was clumsy. She got through this crowd to stop him from showing his glittery skin. And she was like, you think he died? He was like, oh, I died. I see Bella again. She's dead too. And she was like, no, I'm right here. It's me. I'm here. And she pushes him inside the building so he won't get pretty much got. I think a little girl might have seen a little bit of it because, you know, kids, they were looking around. She was, a little girl might have seen some of it. But she pushes him.
That was it.
At the moment, he was like, no, I never leave you again. You're my everything. After he didn't cause her like 6 months of depression. So I feel like there should have been some kind of retaliation for other depression. I'm just saying. He would have got a slap something. Okay, she was just like, just everything, and she just like whatever. So we finally see the Valkyrie tell him, like, you know what, we need to talk to you, Edward, because we gotta talk to you. And he was like, well, nothing happened. The guys, look at the peasants. Look at the peasants on the Twilight the peasants. That's what they're doing.
Oh, and Dakota Fanning I didn't get a screenshot of her, but she was in this movie too. She was part of the Valkyrie.
No, I'm looking for her because I'm also trying to get Denai from Walking Dead as Michonne, and I'm having a hard time finding her. Hard time. She's great.
Black Widow, maybe?
What?
Black Widow? You remember that last night? Steven said we were like the 3 people from Captain America Winter Soldier.
I like
Black Widow.
Okay with Scarlett Johansson to an extent, but was she like? I feel like she was one of the worst members of the Avengers because she was regular. She was just like she just kicked a bunch of ass. And I was like, you're pretty. You got like a nice skin tight leather outfit on. You kick some ass. It's great. But what are like? You're not that useful, you know. Just. We had some useful people. She's not one of them. She's half of a Hawkeye. He didn't need to be there. Didn't need to be there at all. Like Hawkeye, we didn't need you. We didn't need you, Hawkeye. I'm sure if Max is still watching, probably, what do you mean? Because he likes Hawkeye. I don't. He's a waste of a character. We didn't need Hawkeye.
Justice for Hawkeye, man. They did him dirty.
I felt like he just so irrelevant in the movies. I was just like, he got used like a what you call it in the first Avengers, he was used. And I was just like, oh, okay. Like he had some kind of redeeming moments in the last Avenger movie in Endgame. But it was in Endgame, but it was just like, oh, okay, well.
I wonder why.
I didn't care if he would have died. I would have rather take him than Black Widow, honestly. Yes, I just need listen. I don't when you're like 21 years old and you're surrounded by like trash men in 20-year-old range, and you see a man. Well, he wasn't a man yet, but when he had the shirt, took his shirt off, and he just
he was a man.
Like exist.
He was a man that day.
They exist. Where can I find somebody who looks like this on a regular basis? Please come to me.
Yeah, the Valkyrie.
She tried to tell Bella to leave. They was like, no, we want Bella too. And then that's when Alice reappeared. She's like, you know, let's not cause a scene because there's a festival going on. And they go talk to Valkyrie. So this is the first time the Valkyrie kind of see Alice, Edward, and Bella together. The only issue I had with the whole Alice thing, because from the book difference is they did know about Alice. They actually wanted Alice for a long time. That's not mentioned in the movies at all. I'm not really sure why it's not mentioned in the movies. But she was supposed to be one of the most powerful Cullens, and they wanted her because she was powerful, and she kind of eluded them for years. So for her to reappear at the Valkyrie with Edward was like, oh, you're like he wanted her. So I didn't like that they really didn't bring that up in the movie because it was just like, oh, we didn't know how powerful she was. They did know. But anyway, he reads Edward. He can read minds like Edward, but he does it by touching the hand. So he takes Edward's hand and he sees like, oh, they didn't do anything wrong. But this is the Valkyrie, and I'm like, well, you guys still might have caused the scene. Then we gotta kind of show our authority a little bit. So he tries to go to Bella and read what happened to her, but he finds out he can't. This is still like foreshadowing of why nobody can do anything to Bella.
Yeah.
So he asked Jane to do something to her, and Edward was like, no, don't do it. And then Jane does it to Edward instead. Bella is now upset that Edward seems in pain. She's like, no, you know, you can do it to me. It's fine. And nothing happened. So now Jane, Jane was a little upset. She was like, oh, it ain't nothing happened. She was ready. And nothing happened to Bella. So she looked like her power was like, oh, you suck. That's the way her face was looking. So Arrow was very happy, like, oh, nothing is working. It would be a shame it would be great if you was immortal. Like, if you had your powers, obviously you have some powers because we can't help, we can't harm you. So they're about to turn her, or rather they were going to kill her because she knew too much. She knew they existed. And Edward gets back up logically to go and now fight the big guy who does all the killing, apparently. I don't know what his name is. I don't remember the big guy, the Volturi guy.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
All the killing.
I'm not on that part again.
So they have like a really like sequence type fight where it was like really fast parts.
Mm-hmm.
And when they looks like Everett, because Everett apparently is not as good as the Volturi people are, and he's about to die, Bella's like, no, kill me instead. And apparently that seems to be good for Arrow, because he was like, well, you would die for one of us. And she was like, well, you don't have a soul, but this is Edward, fine, whatever. I mean, personally, you can be fine all you want. I'm not dying for nobody. Just saying.
Correct.
Personally,
Correct.
There's always
Especially
more.
when I got Plan B back at Forks.
There's more than to see. I'm not dying for you. Like, it sucks. I might be sad for a little bit, but there's gonna be another man's gonna come. Like, you know what? Just it.
There's always Jacob. There's always Jacob.
Thank you. There was Jacob. See, that's another thing she was being stupid. Because Jacob was waiting, and she was like, you know what? Jacob was not safe. Jacob was the bad boy of this scenario, okay? Edward was the one who was here waiting for marriage and shit, okay? I feel like Jacob probably did all types of stuff, and Bella was
I don't know if Jacob was the bad boy, because he was the one she knew, the one she was friends with, and he was always so sweet to her.
Edward was so polite and shit. Like, he was like, oh, no, this is Charlie.
No, but Edward was the bad boy because he broke her heart, and then she was still groveling to get back with him.
Like a crazy person. See, that's, do not you're watching, don't be about it. Don't.
David, you need to get Steven. As a matter of fact, you can hop on real quick, because I'm going to have to make it. I have to go fill out some paperwork. Just sit here.
Oh my God.
No, come back.
Here,
We're almost
enjoy the
done.
entertainment.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am the technician, David Sanderson. You do not know me.
Okay, so anyway, Bella's tells the Volturi, I've seen Bella's going to become a vampire. I've seen it in the future, and Arrow reads Alice's hand and see that she does become a vampire at some time in the future. We don't know when, but it's implied because her skin is glittering like Edward that she'll become a vampire too.
It's gonna happen.
So the Volturi is like, you guys can go right now. It's cool, you can go. I hope soon though. It has to be soon. Bella needs to change. So I thought this was Chris. He left for the scene when people died at the scene. So he left when the tour people were coming to tour, and the lady was like, "Oh, they look really good enough. They look really plump and delicious." And then you hear all the things happening. Pretty much, the Volturi killed all those people. All the tour people just killed them all. So the next scene we wake up to, Bella's back home and she's like having a nightmare. Edward's sitting next to her. So pretty much she's watching her while she sleeps, and he was Charlie comes in, like, he was upset that she was gone for 3 days with no type of contact, because, cell phones don't exist, apparently. And, you're grounded for forever. You're grounded. Which, obviously, nonsense.
Who cares? Right? Because Charlie's never at home anyway.
Yeah. So, after that, when I think it was, like, she sees the Cullens again, and Jasper pretty much apologized for what happened. Like, he almost killed her. And everything. They voted that, what if Bella wants to change, and that's the way to keep the Volturi happy, then Bella can change. Not right now, but they voted like,
Are you done with your paperwork?
Even if Edward doesn't like your vote.
You said by not even paying attention to you. They probably talked the whole time. You probably didn't say shit. But that's the best way to have sex. Just sit back and let the women handle everything. All right,
Whoa.
This is a PG-13 movie.
That's what you do.
Bro, what the fuck?
I'm just being very honest. If you do nothing, you will be in somebody's group chat.
That's exactly why I'm in unpopular reviews group chat all day, right?
You be in a group chat. So you don't want
Steven wants to know who your favorite Cullen is. Steven lies. This is his favorite movie ever. David, do you and Chris live in the same state? We live in the same city of Orlando, Florida. You're right, Ricky. I want to watch this movie with my pants off all the time. Steven, a little suspect, bro. Just like Total Bellas. I'm not even gonna read that.
Yeah, we know why. We know why, Steven. We know why, because it is right here.
Are we on the third act yet?
Yeah, we're about to finish up.
You really are?
Oh, okay.
Edward, they run.
All right. So, are we about to do the last scene?
Pretty much, they run into Jacob on.
Do we have time for me? Because you know I'm big on commercials. Do we have time for me to run this last commercial?
Okay, go ahead.
All right, we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, for the last part of Twilight New Moon after this message.
Thank you for watching this edition of the Unpopular Review. If you like what you're watching, please subscribe to us on our social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at UPRYEPILW. Also, while you're at it, subscribe to our friends at Yep I Like Wrestling on the same social medias at YEPILW. Yep.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, tuning in. We're back with unPOPULAR Reviews Entertainment Edition, Twilight New Moon. Executive consultant here, joined by Katrina Storm and C. Superior. I'm just here because they wanted some testosterone on here, apparently. But I am here for all of you all on this show. When you get a chance, please make sure you check out our Twitter and Instagram. I almost said Twister, yes. UPR, Yep, ILW. And you make sure that you like, love, and share this video. Good part about the fact that I'm also watching it simultaneously on my laptop is the fact I get to see who shared this video. And the only person I see share this video is Chris Harris. So Stephen Payne and Ricky Pate, I don't understand why y'all haven't shared it, but go ahead and share this video because everybody needs to see the beauty of Twilight, if nothing more. You'll see the beauty of Katrina Storm and see the Superior. But I divulge back to the two of you. Go ahead and take it away. Oh, actually, hold on. Let me answer this question. Orlando and Miami is 3.5 hours away.
So yeah, pretty much at the end of the movie, they run into Jacob on the street. They're kind of like splitting time between Edward and Jacob. And Jacob wants her to choose him, but then she says, "Oh, don't make me choose because it won't be you." Like, what a bitch! Like, why would she say that to him? And that gets Jacob mad. Well, Edward tries to butt in, gets Jacob mad. Edward and Jacob are about to fight in the woods over Bella. Bella comes in, she shuts it down. She's like, "No, if either of you die or hurt, you're only hurting me." Jacob runs off because he's heartbroken now. He's 16 with a broken heart, and Edward takes that as the perfect moment to propose to Bella, and that's the end of the movie, pretty much. He proposes to her. We don't see what her answer is, but of course, because she's obsessed with this vampire, she's going to say yes. And that's the end of the movie.
What happened? I don't know what happened to Christmas now.
I don't know. But so the things I really liked about the movie, I liked how the budget obviously increased. I'm not sure what the budget was, but it's like the special effects were a lot better. Yeah. The costumes and the wigs were marginally better, but everything, was, bigger and better. I really appreciated that, they made Jacob look good, even though, again, he is not my pick for Jacob, but he did a hell of a good job and he looks great. And also, I like, because this was my favorite book, so this was my favorite movie. It was between this one and Eclipse, which I can't wait till we get on Eclipse too, because I think the one too. But,
actually, New Moon is actually my favorite book, actually, of the group. New Moon for me.
New Moon is your favorite? Yeah, it's awesome. It's the most Jacob. This gives the people what they want. They want Jacob. So yeah, I really enjoyed the movie.
She just graduated. That's
Are we doing final thoughts? Because I give it a thumbs up.
Congratulations. She had no.
What is this?
If you were part of if you were part of my virtual birthday party on Friday, this is the bottle.
Back again.
They didn't say I look like Jacob and Edward together.
I don't know if that's a good combination, bro. Jacob and Edward together? Is that a good combo? Is that a good combo? That means you're a werewolf. That means what's that, a lichen? What is that?
Hybrid.
We got to do that. It's a hybrid. Thank you.
But so yes, I guess we're doing final thoughts, guys. So go ahead, Christina. What do you think about the movie? Chris, do you want to go with
the budget was clearly a little better.
I don't even think unpopular reviews can do this.
Review Monopoly.
We review practically anything, but I don't know we can review board games. You know, just say, "Hey, Monopoly, Monopoly," and then Chris beats everybody. Like, how do you review
I've
that?
never lost a game of Monopoly ever.
Well, that's because you're in Queens, New York, and you never came to DC or Florida. Because I would have whooped that ass in Monopoly.
How to beat. That's all. I haven't been doing Monopoly. I played all types of Monopoly, mind you, and I have never.
Katrina, it's fine. You would lose to me in Monopoly just as quickly as anybody would lose to me in Uno. Anybody would lose to me in Spades. Anybody would lose to me in chess.
Did somebody say Queen of Spades?
No, I didn't say Queen of Spades. I said Spades, bro.
I would never. First of all, David, see, you're supposed
Here we go.
You
said the magic word. You said trigger. Look, somebody said Shayna Baszler, and Chrissy looked so lost. And then Katrina looked so triggered. It was completely opposite effects just now. I only played WWE Monopoly. Candyland sucks. Chris.
Well, if you're over 5, yeah, probably. First of all, I'm going to business because F her. I don't care about her. I would never compare myself to that bored woman ever. Okay.
Who knows the shit?
Great. Especially with friends who don't know how to play. Just saying. So for me, I like the movie. It's actually my favorite book. We get to see a whole bunch of Jacob, no shirt. This is Jacob's time to shine. Got to see wet Jacob, shirtless Jacob. That wig was gone, but even when the wig was there, he was still looking extra. I was like, oh, okay, Jacob, all right, you know. All right. So for me, I was happy. We got more Jacob than Edward, and I was happy with this. I was happy with it, but for me, thumbs up.
Thumbs up. All right, Chris, what about you? Thumbs up or thumbs down? You don't even know why you're giving it a thumbs down.
If it's a Twilight movie, automatically gets a thumbs down to me. Until I start seeing some interview with a vampire type of crap, there's always going to get a thumbs down.
Interview with the Vampire sucks because it completely messed up from the book. But I'm gonna let you have that. Y'all love to use Interview with the Vampire, and it completely messed up from the book. Completely.
Interview with a Vampire was a good movie.
Read the book.
It didn't follow the book.
I'm not going to read the book.
Well, then for that reason,
I'm not familiar with the book. I'm familiar with the movie, and I'm going to give you an offer that I never had.
They weren't anticipated. You cannot say we're not.
Those were anticipated. But I'll talk about that in my final review. Are we talking final review, Chrissy? We're just doing thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah, I give thumbs up. I give thumbs up if I liked it.
All right. I'll wait till you tell me to do final review.
Final review. Go right ahead.
All right. This movie got a 4.9 out of 10 on IMDb.com. That's right. 4.9 out of 10 on IMDb.com. However, once again, just like the previous movie, this movie was very, very, excuse me one second. Quiet on the freaking set. Quiet on the set. This movie got a really good review. I'm sorry. It was very anticipated by the likes of a lot of people who love Twilight. And that's something that I will always respect about this movie. At the end of the day, as much as I trash it, as much as I give it a lot of crap, I will respect the fact that it has a very solid fan base. This movie broke a day record that was previously set by The Dark Knight, which is arguably my favorite movie of all time. So
actually also broke a Harry Potter film record for Harry Potter and Half-Blood Prince. And I'm a very, very big Harry Potter fan, probably more than Twilight. And they broke that record as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a fan of Twilight at all. I'm sorry, of Harry Potter at all. I can't stand Harry Potter either, but that's another review show for another time because we are going to do Harry Potter as well. Look at her praying. I pray that I never have to see Harry Potter, so I will pray too.
I got my figures. I got my books.
But more to the more. If y'all don't be quiet. If more to the point, worldwide gross $711 million, 297 of it came from the United States on a budget of $50 million. So as much as this executive consultant says about Twilight, you have to give it all the credit in the world. If I spent $50 million in a movie and I made $711 million worldwide, I will go ahead, hire some no-name actors and make them shirtless too in order to do that. So much respect to Twilight. I will always give it a thumbs down, but I will give it respect. So Twilight 2, respect to you from the executive consultant. Cheers.
Thumbs up. Yay. 3 thumbs up all around the board.
Did you just leave the stream?
I guess there's no in promo. I'm not sure what we're supposed to be plugging here.
I don't know. We're coming back. Like, bro, we're gonna promote stuff.
What?
You know damn well we're always going to promote stuff. Are y'all done?
Go ahead.
Is it time to plug?
We saw.
Yes.
Chris,
Yeah.
And then he
you
was
know
gone.
the definition of a saga is?
The definition of a saga? Yeah, Twilight Saga.
Right, you know what that means.
Yeah, Twilight Saga.
It's a long story.
I know only two sagas
It's a long
in
story.
movies. In movies, I know Twilight Saga, and I know the Green Ranger Saga from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
You understand that you might not have liked Twilight because it is a saga.
That's not true. Marvel
Yeah.
Cinematic Universe has 23 movies. Don't do that.
It's a long story.
Don't do
And
that.
if you don't like long stories, you're not gonna like.
Are you on this episode?
No, I'm
All
not.
right, be quiet. All right, be quiet. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Unpopular Reviews powered by Yep, I Like Wrestling. Okay, so we are See the Superior, the executive consultant, and Katrina Storm, and we're reviewing Twilight episode 2 to you all. Join us tomorrow for another edition of Unpopular Review, where the Mark Victor Rodriguez, oh my gosh, not Katrina, Chrissy put
I was at work.
many pictures. I don't even know where these flyers are. But tomorrow, the Mark Victor Rodriguez is actually doing Unpopular Reviews Interviews edition with New York's independent wrestling's brother greatness. And this is somebody who's a really big up-and-coming wrestler in the New York area. So definitely tune in for that as he tells you his trials and tribulations through the world of professional wrestling. On Thursday, we have Unpopular Reviews NXT AEW Results Edition episode from Wednesday, where the Mark Victor Rodriguez, Bad Guy Jack, the technician David Sanderson, as well as the Dylan are going to bring you everything that happened the night prior to.
Say it right. The insider, Dylan Campbell. There you go.
Sorry, are you paid for this episode?
No, but if you're gonna introduce someone, you gotta do it right.
All right, fine. Bottom line is NXT AEW. That's right. Keep shaking your head, Chrissy. NXT AEW edition Thursday. On Friday, we have Unpopular Reviews, Dark Side of the Ring. The episode drops in a little while here, but Dark Side of the Ring edition with Owen Hart and everything surrounding that. That should be a very entertaining episode. I don't know where the graphic is for that right now. That's sad. But join us on Friday for that one. Katrina Storm, The Welveteen Dream. I know it's on here. I don't see it.
I got you.
You got me? Oh, I see it. It's right here. I'm blind.
Yeah, you are.
My eyes are old. I'm like 70 years old now. But anyway, don't say 70, say 90. But anyway, Dark Side of the Ring, Katrina Storm, myself. No, not myself. Why do I keep saying that, Katrina? Katrina, why do I keep saying I'm going to be on the episode? I'm not going to be on the episode.
I thought you said you was.
Foreshadowing.
I don't know. Maybe I am, maybe I won't. But the Welveteen Dream, Katrina Storm, the Mark Victor Rodriguez, possibly the executive consultant talking things Owen Hart in this Fights episode. On Saturday morning, we have Big Daddy Cool Stephen Pena, the Welveteen Dream, and myself bringing you Unpopular Reviews SmackDown edition, SmackDown from Friday night. Saturday's a big day for us, ladies and gentlemen, because even after that, later at 5 o'clock p.m., Unpopular Reviews Captain America Winter Soldier edition with myself, as well as the Mark Victor Rodriguez See the Superior and the Mystery. Will bring you Unpopular Reviews Captain America edition, and immediately after, Double or Nothing pay-per-view, AEW Double or Nothing for Unpopular Reviews. And I'm not sure who's going to be on the episode yet, but we will talk to you more about that. Make sure you follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, everything social media, UPR, YepILW. We even have a TikTok, which nothing's on it, but hey, if you want to follow us on that, as well as purchase a shirt. And that's pretty much all I have, which is a mouthful, especially when you've been drinking. So,
all right.
Ladies, anything else? And if not, Chrissy closes out.
No, nothing for me besides Team Jacob. Great movie. Can't wait to see a clip. And we'll see you guys later in the week. Yeah.
We'll see you actually next week for another episode of Twilight Edition Unpopular Reviews. Bye.
Bye.
Shut the fuck up.